Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking a trap that, honestly, almost every single one of us falls into at some point. I'm talking about drifting passively through our days. And listen, it's not just a bad habit. It's more like this silent, under-the-radar current that can completely alter the trajectory of your entire life. So we're going to break down the mechanics of purpose, why we so often lose our grip on it, and exactly what happens when we do. Let's get right into it. I want to kick things off with a deeply personal question about your life's direction. Seriously, ask yourself right now, are you building your own dreams or are you building someone else's? I want you to keep that thought right in the back of your mind as we go through this. Because the reality is, if you aren't actively answering this question for yourself, the world has a remarkably efficient way of answering it for you. All right, so let's dive into the foundational problem here. Our lives generally demand two basic types of action, what we call our fundamental life mandates. But there's this fascinating, almost universal gap between our really good intentions and our actual day-to-day execution. We consistently fail to act on the very things that define who we are. It plays out as this crazy dual failure in our daily routines. On one hand, you've got your baseline responsibilities, the things you are supposed to do, but for whatever reason, you're putting them off. Then, on the flip side, you have the things you supposedly love to do, your actual passions, but you aren't carving out time for those either. We end up totally neglecting both duty and joy at the exact same time. It's a complete standstill of any meaningful action. Now, you might be thinking, hey, putting things off is pretty harmless, right? It's just a temporary slump. Well, actually, scratch that. This ongoing inaction takes a massive, agonizing toll on your future. It's not just a slump, it is a critical failure. Drifting along and ignoring what you absolutely must do sets you on a trajectory that becomes incredibly difficult to reverse once it gains momentum. And the cost? It's brutal. Ignoring these core areas is literally a sure-shot path to a very specific kind of existence, one that is desperate, completely directionless, and ultimately devoid of any real significance. Those are some heavy, unyielding words, I know, but they represent the absolute ultimate consequence of chronic inaction. So what's the game plan? We know the steep cost of doing nothing. So how on earth do we break out of this mundane reality? How do we reclaim our trajectory and guarantee our lives actually have real direction? Well, it all hinges on a single defining concept that helps you pivot. The solution starts with fiercely, and I mean absolutely fiercely, attending to your personal musts. These are the things in life that you value the most. We aren't talking about casual hobbies or little nice-to-haves here. These are the core fundamental elements of your identity. Whether it's writing that novel, launching a business, or just deeply investing in your family, if you don't actively make time for these musts, you are leaving a massive, gaping void in your own life. And here is the ultimate warning, which is just a huge wake-up call. If you fail to develop yourself and attend to your musts, it will inevitably make you work for other people's dreams and ambitions. It's basically a zero-sum game of human energy. Your capacity doesn't just sit there idle. No, it gets absorbed. Without your own clear direction, you just become the tool used to build someone else's vision. And the scariest part? This doesn't happen overnight. It builds completely silently. Think about it. On day one, you just get a little distracted. The mundane, day-to-day happenings, clearing out endless emails, doing the laundry, they just kind of take over. Then months pass, and you're entirely ignoring your own musts just to keep your head above water. Fast forward a few years, and you wake up one day realizing you completely abandoned your own deepest needs. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to take a hard look at your daily actions. Look at what you are avoiding, and ask yourself right now, if you don't attend to your musts today, whose dream will you be working on tomorrow? The choice is absolutely yours to make, but you've got to make it on purpose. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I highly encourage you to go take a hard look at your priorities right now.